Hello everyone. I hope you all are well and making progress in life. Here is Priyanshu and welcome to the Infinity Mind. So today I will be solving the problem merge intervals. So the problem says given an array of intervals where intervals of I is a pair of start and end, merge all overlapping intervals and return an array of the non overlapping intervals that cover all the intervals in the input. So let's see the example 1. The input is given, the intervals array is given, and inside the vector is given 1 comma 3, 2 comma 6, 8 comma 10 and 15 comma 18. And if we overlap them, we can see the answer 1 comma 3 and 2 comma 6 are overlapped and they give 1 comma 6. Now 8 comma 10 is another interval and 15 comma 18 is another interval. So we can easily understand the question what we have to solve. We just have to merge the overlapping intervals and return a set of intervals which are non-overlapping, okay, which are individual intervals. So let's see how we can do this. So first of all, the brute force approach which can come in my mind is that we compare all the intervals with all the intervals and store in our new result vector, but this will take very high complexity of around big O of n square. But let's see what we can do. We first of all, we have the intuition that we have to sort it, because if this we can see in the input intervals also, this intervals array is already sorted, but it's not mentioned in the problem that it will be always sorted, so we have to sort it on our own. So yes, we will sort it. Then we can see the sorting will be according to the first index one. Let's take the example, let's take the example one only. It's already sorted, but I'm telling you how it will be sorted. It will be sorted according to the 0th index, and if the 0th index elements are same, it will be sorted according to the first index then. So this way we can after sorting we can know which intervals are close to each other. Okay, now perfect. Now what we can do, if we talk about this interval, let's take this example only. 1 comma 3, 2 comma 6, 8 comma 10 and 15 comma 18. Let's see. And suppose we declare an answer array where we will store the individual non-overlapping intervals. Okay, our answer. Now first 1 comma 3, 1 comma 3, and okay, we will push it 1 comma 3, no problem. Now because we are at this index and till now we don't have any answer, we can say that this is our individual interval, and that's all right. Now next, before pushing back this interval 2 comma 6, we first have to check if it is overlapping with the previous interval or not. So what do you think? Is it overlapping with the previous interval 1 comma 3 and 2 comma 6? Is it overlapping? How can we check? This 2 is less than the previous end. I'm talking about, let's say, if any I comma j pair is given, I'm saying this I as a start and this j as end. So if the current first is less than the previous end, it means this interval is overlapping. It's the part of that interval. I mean, this 2 is coming in between 1 and 3, including the boundaries. So we have to merge it. We can simply say these two can be merged into 1 comma 6, and yes, we have got an individual interval 1 comma 6. Now in our answer array we can just go and replace or update this 1 comma 3 with 1 comma 6. This is the logic. Now moving forward, we see 8 comma 10. We will check, is 8 coming in between 1 and 6? No, it's not coming. It means 8 comma 10 is an individual interval. Now we will push it back, the new interval, into our answer array. And we all know that I is always less than equal to j. Okay, starting is always less than equal to end. Now moving towards forwards, 15 comma 18. Is 15 coming inside this interval 8 comma 10? No. Now we have got a new interval 15 comma 18. So this is our final answer array. Let's verify with the example 1 output. 1 comma 6, 8 comma 10, 15 comma 18. Yes, our logic is correct. So what I am telling, the core logic of this question is just two things. That first, we have to push back the new interval into the answer array. Push back the new interval. Let me write in the editor only. Okay. The first case is pushing back the new interval, pushing back the new interval. And the second case is, if we are not pushing the new interval, if we find any interval whose starting is coming between the previous starting and end, if the current starting is coming in the previous starting and end, then it means we have to update our previous interval only, because it's a part, it's overlapping. Now we have to update. So case 2 can be, we have to update our previous interval. Okay, so I'm removing this. Now we have understood that there will be only two cases. That first, we have to either push back the new interval, or we have to update our previous interval in our answer array. So let's go through the implementation part. So first I will declare the size of the intervals array, intervals dot size. And what did I told you first? First of all, we have to sort our intervals array. Let's sort our intervals array. Intervals dot begin, comma, intervals dot end. Okay, so why do we need to sort this intervals array? Because we want all the intervals closer to each other. Suppose if someone is starting at 1 comma 3, then here we need 2 comma 6, or just interval close to this previous interval, not 15 comma 18. So this will help us for merging intervals. Okay, all right, so perfect. Now what did I told you? That we just have to handle two cases. Let's start from the very first index, I is equals to 0, I is less than n, and plus I. And before that, we have to declare an answer array where we will store the new intervals which are now non-overlapping and they are individual. So I have declared the answer array, vector of vector, as asked in the question, in the problem. Now let's handle the case 1. Okay, here above I have written what's the case 1, that either in the answer array we have to push back a new interval, or we have to update the previous interval. Okay, so all right, now if I explain you the case 1, how we will push back a new interval. Suppose we, obviously, if the answer array is starting at 70 and we are here, so we have to obviously push back 1 comma 3. So we will push back a new interval if the answer array is empty. First thing, if the array is empty. Okay, empty. Okay, so let's write here only, if answer array is empty, we will push back a new interval. Or What do you think when we will push back a new interval? Let's say we are here, and till now our answer array has dealt with these 1 comma 3 and 2 comma 6 and has stored 1 comma 6. Okay, now if we are here 8 comma 10, we have seen that this 8 is greater than 6. Now we have to push back a new interval because we have got a new interval which is not overlapping with the previous interval. So obviously we will push back 8 comma 10 here. So how we will check? We can just check the previous element in the answer array, that is 1 comma 6, by using answer dot back. We can check that if answer dot back 1th element, if it's less than the current, that is intervals ith, 0th element, that is 8, if it's greater than 6, because see, uh, it's greater than 6, that's why we are uh, pushing back a new interval. So these are the two cases. All right, now in this case we will push back a new interval. So we can say that answer dot push back our current intervals dot intervals of I, else this is case 2, this is case 2. Perfect. Now now I will tell you case 2 with an example. So suppose our array has 1 comma 3, it has dealt with the first uh, interval. Now we are here 2 comma 6, we have found overlapping. 2 is less than 3 and we have to update our interval. So how can we update our previous interval? This was 1 comma 3. Okay, so we have to update with this with 1 comma 6. Now this should be 1 comma 6, so we can say this 3 will be removed and 6 will be entered. So what we can say, this 3 will be the max of 3 and 6. Simply this 3 will be the max of 3 and 6. So in the else case we can say that answer back of the ending element will be the max of the same and the current's ending element. All right, now we will just simply return the answer. Let's check if we haven't done any mistake. Okay, it's correct. Now we are confident enough to run it. Now if I check the sample test cases, there was a small mistake. I have missed a parenthesis somewhere. So let's please hold on. Let me check. Where is that parenthesis? Yes, this was a silly mistake. Sorry. And now we are confident enough to run all the test cases and see we are able to pass all the test cases now. And if I talk about the time and space complexity, so we can see that here we are sorting, which takes n log n time complexity, and we are running a for loop from 0 to n. So we can say that I should write here that our time complexity is big O of n log n plus n, and our space complexity we can say is big O of n, because we are using this answer array which is storing the intervals. And in the worst case, we can, according to the time complexity rules, we can simply say this as n log n time complexity at max, because n log n is greater than n. So yes, we can say it. Okay, or n log n plus n, there is no problem. According to the rules, we can say just n log n, and space complexity is just big of n. So if I tell you what did we learn from this question, that this is a very basic question in merging the intervals. So we have learned about how we can merge the intervals. We have to sort them, and we can just check how to merge them, and we can apply this pattern of merging in many other questions. Okay, all right, so perfect. This question is now done, successfully solved. So thanks for watching. Until then, keep learning and keep upgrading yourself. See you in the next video.